Yes, graduates, welcome to Hard Talk Podcast with HTK. Fasten your seatbelts.
Hey users and subscribers, welcome back to another episode of Hard Talk with HTK. Listen, I really want to understand how it is that nobody's speaking about this case, right? How is nobody speaking about this? We've got justice for Jaden. We've got people wanting to know what happened to Jaden who just went missing. And now we have got a missing 6-year-old child. Missing child who was abducted all the way from the UK to Jamaica without a trace, without a single trace. So let me just give you some background first before we go into some details. So first of all, who are the parents of Tao Cleo Rodriguez Fairplay? She is the child of two mothers. I know I got a little bit confused about this thing because, say, when it comes to Jamaica, we're not too into the whole rainbow affair, right? Okay. Well, it is a child of a queer couple. Queer as in gay. Yeah. So we've got two mothers involved here, people. Now, these two mothers are pictured on the screen. The ex-partner of the mother who is seeking her child back is one Athena Bell Fairplay. Notice, same surname Agwan. So they were actually legally married right here in the UK. So we're talking about two wives here, right? They were officially married, and Samar Rodriguez is a London School of Economics lecturer in human rights and gender and a strong advocate for the Black queer community. Now, I know only I go switch off when I hear this, Only to stop it, right? We may not be for this kind of lifestyle, but I am telling you that these things exist. And remember, this is a situation or a setup we're going in a big foreign. It not happened in Jamaica. Anyway, they subsequently divorced and they had a joint custody arrangement with little Tao. So Tao was sharing her time between Rodriguez and their former spouse, Athena Bell Fairplay. So between the two of them, they look after her, they make their little arrangements. I want you to listen to this clip. It kind of explains it a little bit more.
The police have issued a high alert for missing British child Tao Rodriguez Fairplay. The police say the toddler, who is from London, was transported to Jamaica by one of her parents. But this evening, a desperate plea from the child's other parent for assistance in locating the child who she's not seen or heard from in over a year.
Dr. Samar Rodriguez clutches a teddy bear, one that once belonged to her 5-year-old daughter, Tao Rodriguez, as she confronts a reality no parent should ever face.
I remember when she was born, I just remember holding her and feeling like I will protect you with everything I have. And she was stolen from me in this way and she was stolen from her life.
Tao Rodriguez Fairplay has been missing since February 2025. Under a joint custody arrangement, the toddler shared time between Dr. Rodriguez and her former spouse, Athena Bell Fairplay. But what was supposed to be a routine handover at a train station in London on February 7 never happened.
I waited for a couple of hours. I called. I texted. Normally, if they were late, I would get a text message that just said train's delayed and, I'll be there in 10 minutes or something like that. And, that was normal and that was fine. But this time I didn't get any message at all. The phone was cut. I checked social media. Her social media was gone.
She said she contacted hospitals and even checked if there were any reports of train crashes and reported the matter with the police. She would later find out that Tao had been taken out of the UK in breach of a court order and brought to Jamaica. TVJ News obtained a copy of this report from the Metropolitan Police in the UK, which indicate that the child left the UK on February 3, 2025. Investigations later revealed that the child was taken to St. Elizabeth. And if struggling with the uncertainty was not already a task, the passage of Hurricane Melissa added another layer of fear for a mother thousands of miles away.
To have left, to have seen this hurricane coming, to ask everyone, please just look for her. Just look. You know, the consular officials, the investigators, the CPFSA, everybody, just please figure out where she is. To experience that and then just afterward, see that everything was ruined. I mean, everything, the houses. It felt like if she experienced that, she must be so scared.
The case now spans 2 countries. Under the Hague Convention on the Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction, which requires urgent return of abducted children. She's made contact with several agencies, to include the Child Protection and Family Service Agency and the police. Take a look at this police report filed in April 2025. The nature of the report is logged as wellness visit of child.
I have met some really compassionate people, you know, on the island. And I've met people who have allowed other things to get in the way of caring for Tao's well-being. It's like, oh, this happens all the time, you know, or, you know, I'm sure she'll pop up somewhere. It's a smaller island. Or they would just say horrible things that just didn't recognize what it's like to suddenly be without your child.
Fast forward a year later, it's logged as a missing person. On Thursday, the police activated a high alert for the missing toddler. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of the child is being asked to contact the Black River Police or the police emergency number at 119. And so, with only memories in her arms, Dr. Rodriguez waits, hoping someone, somewhere, knows where her daughter is.
We love you, Tao. If you see this, we miss you, we love you, we care for you, and there isn't a single day, there's not a single hour that I don't think about you.
So as you can hear, during one of those custody arrangements in February of 2026, Belle Fairplay failed to drop off the child at a London train station where she agreed to meet Rodriguez. So Rodriguez tried calling her and all of that, and no response. She said that the lady basically deleted all of our social media and our phone was disconnected. Now hear this confusion now. You see this Athena Belle Fairplay here, the former wife of the mother. She has another name. She is also known as Natalie Bartlett Foster. And she was born in England to Jamaican parents. These parents previously resided in Black River in Spice Grove, St. Elizabeth. Now, originally, Belle Fairplay, also known as Natalie Bartlett Foster, had been living in America with Rodriguez, her wife. When Tao was 10 months old, they moved to England and got divorced in 2021. Now, Belle Fairplay had expressed her intention to move to Jamaica with Tao. And this happened in 2024. Yes, 2024. When she made that request, the UK courts denied it after social welfare assessments concluded that relocation would not be in Tao's best interest, especially given that Belle Fairplay's behavior when it comes to maintaining communication was very unreliable. In order to protect this little 6-year-old child, the mother, Rodriguez, issued a prohibited steps order via the Central Family Court in London, which prevented either parent from removing her from the UK without permission. Now, Belle Fairplay clearly disobeyed this order and vanished with the child in February 2025. Now, through investigations, passport checks later confirmed that Belle Fairplay left the UK on the 3rd of February, arriving in Jamaica with Tao. On the 11th of February, Rodriguez filed a Hague Convention application with the UK Central Authority, It was then transmitted to the Jamaican Central Authority, JCA, that same week and acknowledged on the 24th of February. Now, the 1980 Hague Convention on the Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction was ratified by both Jamaica and the UK in 2023 and establishes protocols for swift return of children wrongfully removed from their country of habitual residence. Now, in case you are wondering what jurisdiction the JCA falls under, they work under the remit of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, the CPFSA. And according to the mother, the CPFSA has done nothing about her case. They have been very, very nonchalant about it, as in the JCA department of the CPFSA have done nothing about it. Now, people, me not gonna lie. Me think that this situation have to do with attitude towards homosexuality in the island. Me not think say them do nothing about it because them say, well, she with her other mother, so what the problem? You understand kind of thing? And maybe the mother will run away go take man. You know how some people stay, right? So according to Rodriguez, she said from the start she was getting a very chilling attitude, like she was hearing things from the JCA like it could be worse, and I think she's fine. She's with her mother. Yes. There was this attitude that a mother indeed cannot kidnap, and that even when she steals or defies a court order and cuts off her social media and communication with friends, it is not a big deal. But really, what she's saying she experienced was a dangerous gender bias, where it was ignored by the JCA that there is a reality that parent abduction is a form of child abuse, and that most child abuse and neglect occurs with maternal perpetration. It erases the harm done to children when they are forcibly uprooted, isolated, and told they can forget the parent and family that they love. And indeed, in an article that was published in the Jamaica Gleaner, Rodriguez did claim that she believes her ex-partner was relying on the agency's deprioritizing of the matter due to homophobia. Now remember, under Jamaican law, we criminalize same-sex intimacy when it comes to men. And it is important to note that the Hague Convention does not get affected when it comes to parents of a same-sex status. It doesn't matter, because all it does is that it governs cases of international parental child abduction and focuses on the wrongful removal or retention of a child or access to them. And it seems to me that the JCA are not enforcing this on this occasion. Now, Rodriguez has not been lazy when it comes to trying to find her child. On the 26th of June, Jamaica's Supreme Court had ordered Tao's immediate return to the UK. And Rodriguez claims that JCA has failed to act decisively to actually enforce it. She went on a whole investigative hunt for her child. She hired private investigators, she contacted schools, she reached out to the Ministry of Education herself, and to date, no effect. Now, she tried her best in 2025 to get the JCA to enlist the Ananda Alert team. And you know what she was told? She was told that that course of action would not be taken, as the JCA was not looking for a missing child in the natural sense. She was then told that she will need to fly to Jamaica, report Tao as missing at a police station, get a receipt from the police, forward it to the JCA for them to share this with the Ananda Alert team. Now, in JCA's defense, they claimed that when the case was officially referred to them on the 18th of February, within a week, they launched coordinated efforts with the CPFSA, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of National Security, the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, and the Supreme Court to expedite the case. They claimed that 5 addresses were searched, 1 in Kingston and 4 in St. Elizabeth. And the agency sought legal alternatives when no definitive address could be verified. However, these are the part, people, when me just not understand and will really irritate me. Apparently, the JCA criticized Rodriguez for her unsanctioned private actions, meaning that them vexed with her because she got hire her own investigations and she sought independent police assistance, and that these efforts complicated ongoing efforts and compromised the case and strained relations with communities. What the hell they mean by that? Because at the end of the day, the woman's child is missing and she wants to move things along quickly in order to get her back. Why would you be angry when a mother is doing everything that is possible to get back her child? Now, as you know, people, since then, we have had one of the most catastrophic events in Jamaica's history of natural disasters, and that is Hurricane Melissa. And since Hurricane Melissa, the area in particular that Belle Fairplay's family home was severely damaged in the storm. So you can imagine all of the panic, all of the worry that is going on with this mother when she sees the place where she thinks the child could have been located was flattened. Now, currently, Rodriguez is being supported by a lawyer in Jamaica by the name of Natasha Robinson, who said that the case has been hampered by delays caused by the JCA, and it was them who was insisting that it is Rodriguez's responsibility to locate her ex-spouse and daughter, totally ignoring the fact that the Hague Convention signatories, i.e. Jamaica and the UK, yes, the signatories are between them, that Jamaica has an obligation to locate children who have been abducted and brought into their jurisdiction without due process. Now, she has been told that they can only help to locate her daughter once she provides an address. People, we need to spread the word and get it out there. But let me tell you now what me really think. You see this Athena Belle Fairplay, also known as Natalie Bartlett Foster. I believe that she may have taken that child out of the country before the hurricane or immediately after, and that she has gone out of her way to change the child's name and probably hers. So wherever she travel to, she not travel under them details there. They need to check D-Poll. They need to check to see if this woman still carries the same documentation. And who to tell if little Tao was actually being homeschooled? Because if she was being homeschooled, there will be no records of her going to any of the institutions in St. Elizabeth or anywhere else in Jamaica for that matter. Now, of course, the Ministry of Education is supposed to have any records of people who have chosen to homeschool their children. All of them needs to be registered with the Ministry of Education as being educated outside of a state institution or private one. But clearly, we are only talking about citizens who believe in respecting the authority of the law. And it is clear that this Athena person, yeah, she no business about the law, because you know, sister, she done broke court order, take the picnic gone how much thousands of miles away, and she had disobey everything at every given moment. So this girl you not go follow no rules. If she educate Tao at home, she go just continue do so and keep her away from institutions and documentation where there can be a paper trail. So if you notice the wording of the articles in the Star and the Gleaner, they have not said an under alert. They've actually just said high alert for missing child. Because according to the JCA, this alert is designed to locate children who are missing under different circumstances. And because this child is actually with a parent, under that system, Tao would not be deemed missing. Now, Rodriguez has a UK lawyer by the name of Sarah Inchley. Now, she said that although the Jamaica Supreme Court had found that Tao was wrongfully removed from the UK by Belle Fairplay in breach of Rodriguez's custody rights and then abducted within the meaning of the Hague Convention, there were gaps in processes in Jamaica that made it difficult to locate and repatriate Tao. Now, where the significant problem has arisen is that the order is only enforceable if Tao can be found. And Athena, the Belle Fairplay woman, yeah, she has taken determined steps to conceal Tao to avoid this court process and to not obey the Jamaican Supreme Court order. She is literally not complying. But you know what I wonder, people? I wonder who the biological mother of this child is and why it is that Jamaican authorities dragged their feet for an entire year before this has been raised as an actual high alert. It seems to me as though this woman, Athena, may very well be the biological mother of this baby. Or at the very least, she is actually trying to pass her off as her biological child. This is the part that remains a bit iffy between them two people, you know, because listen, when I look at Tao and I look at Samar Rodriguez, them favor bad, don't it, people? Them favor bad. So me confused. Me I wonder if Samar is the one who gave birth to this baby, or is it Athena's biological child? What a piece of confusion. But you know, it is believed actually that, you know, and this is just word on the street, that the child was actually adopted, right? So is an adopted child between these two lesbians in a relationship? Why? Me no know. Me just feel like say this mother is passing off this child as though she gave birth to this child. I think this is what is going on. So people are going to be more sympathetic. They're going to be more, they give her more empathy. Them are going to help her hide the picnic. Them are going to think, them are going to think that this a lesbian woman, you just want her class in the woman life and want to take the picnic and grow up in our lesbian household, and them the thing they not right. And you know how we people stay when it comes to such matters. In fact, you know, the first time the Jamaica Gleaner published this article, then get a whole heap of backlash because they put out one article was a 5-year-old American British child abducted, missing in Jamaica. Well, the abduction never took place in Jamaica. It definitely took place in the UK because I guess she take with the picnic and jump on plane, right? But she is in fact missing via Jamaica because we cannot tell if this little girl is still here. We can't tell. But you know why I decided to report on this? It just goes to show how easy it is for a child to get lost in the system, and also for a child to go missing just like that, even in a island here, where, you know, people are supposed to be looking out for kids. Just like how Jaden just disappear. Huh? Something tell me that this little girl is not in the island anymore. Something tell me this woman get all kind of new documentation for this little girl, that she spend her time wisely and get it done, and that this child is somewhere else in the world right now.
I also have a strong suspicion that the mother who has little Tao is actually biologically her rightful mother. And if that is the case, people are going to keep her away from this so-called partner who calls herself a they, a them, a we. Because maybe this mother has fallen out of love with that lifestyle. Maybe she no longer wants to be in a homosexual relationship. Maybe she don't want to confuse her daughter. You understand? And people can change their beliefs and perceptions, you know. And they want a different thing for their own child. And by involving the gay partner, the child is going to still be accepting of that lifestyle. You don't know what kind of mindset is behind this whole separation issue here, and why it is that she would go to such extreme lengths to take that child away from who is appearing to be a loving parent. But then there is also the possibility that as much as this professor here, this lecturer, as much as she may appear as though she is a loving parent, what if behind closed doors is a different story?
Anyway, people, quite a situation indeed. If you've made it this far into the video, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and of course, click that bell so every time I drop a video, you are notified. This is your girl, HTK, and I'm out.